Professional UFC fighter Pablo Garza is here to talk about his career and what it takes to step into the octagon. Thanks for coming on the show today, Pablo.
Thank you for having me.
Well, first of all, for people who are not familiar with the UFC, what is it?
The UFC is MMA, mixed martial arts. UFC, I get asked that a lot. It's the equivalent to saying like NBA, NFL, NHL. It's the top of the top of fighting, you know, just like how you have National Basketball Association, you have the UFC.
Okay, and you're a pro fighter in that organization.
Yep.
How long have you been fighting?
Fighting total professional for about 4 years. Okay. Yeah, so it's not that long in fight years. So.
Well, I don't know how long you can go fighting in the UFC, but what made you make that transition from someone who's just training in MMA and doing those sorts of things to the leap to a professional fighter where you went, okay, I think I can do this for a living?
Well, actually, I tried doing amateur fights. I tried doing amateur boxing, but every time I tried, I would never get a fight. In amateur boxing, you basically go there, you have your boxing coaches and stuff like that, and then they tell you, all right, we got this guy, you have this guy, let's have him fight. But nobody would ever fight me, and not because I was awesome or anything, but just because I couldn't get a fight. They didn't have people for me. So then after waiting, you know, that happening for about 2 or 3 months, I ended up just saying, whatever, I'll take a professional fight, and that's how I got started.
How you got started.
So, yeah.
Well, and you know, we're talking about mixed martial arts. Most people know what martial arts are, but the mixed martial arts, what kind of training do you do?
I do everything from boxing to jiu-jitsu, that's the grappling with submissions, to wrestling, which is grappling without the submissions, to Muay Thai. Muay Thai is like kickboxing, except you can elbow and knee, and it's called you have what's called a clinch, where you can grab your person and kind of try to throw them and toss them around. So it's all of that put together in a fight.
Okay, all of that put together, and I've seen MMA fighting before. What can't you do in the ring?
You can't do a lot of things. People think it's so brutal, anything goes. Well, it's not like that. I mean, there's no, like for instance, no hitting in the groin, no eye gouging, no pulling hair, no scratching. You actually can't hit from where your ears are down here. You can't hit on the back of that part. You can't hit like 2 inches on either side of the neck or the spinal cord. There's no like small joint manipulation. You can't grab somebody's finger and like twist it off or anything like that. So
like the Spock move, you can't do
that.
that.
you can't do that. No fish hooking, which I haven't seen anybody ever try that.
All right, so there are quite a bit of restrictions in the ring. Yeah. Now, yourself, in your you said short career, 4 years, you have a lot of firsts already. Could you just list those for us?
Yeah, I was the first ever person in the UFC to fight in the 145-pound weight class. I was the first ever to get a knockout in the 145-pound weight class as well. And then I was the first fight ever on the UFC 129. UFC 129 is the biggest MMA show in UFC history. So I fought in front of 55,000 people. So I was the first person to do that, and I was the first person in UFC history to get a flying triangle submission. A
flying triangle submission?
Yeah.
Can you explain that quickly for us? Because I don't know what that is.
Triangles, in simple terms, a triangle submission is when you basically wrap your legs around a person's neck with an arm hanging in. So it'd be like your arm, and then one leg would be coming through here, and then the other leg coming down, and you triangle your legs. And what that does, it's a blood choke, it cuts off circulation, and if they don't tap, they'll go to sleep. Now that's a regular triangle, and a flying triangle is when me and you are standing up, and I just jumped in the air and landed that. So
trust me and you would never be in that situation.
You'd probably beat me up.
Yeah, right. Well, what do you have to do to win one of these matches?
You would have to. There's a point system. You'd have to win by points. Usually, a lot of fights are so close that it's decided by whoever gets the last takedown. You know, shoots in and gets the last takedown. Or you can win by, you know, knockout. If you get knocked out, you can't continue. You could win by submission, by tapping out. So if I had you in, say, like a triangle, and if you didn't want to pass out, you tap on the person, tap on the mat, indicating to the ref that you're done, you don't want to fight anymore.
Sure.
Or you can win by decision, where, you know, so.
Judges,
yeah.
match. Okay.
Yep.
Now, you know that you're going to be walking into, it's an octagon, and you're going to be taking some big hits potentially. What is it like to get smacked? In a fight, I've been really lucky where I haven't been knocked out yet in a professional fight yet. But I've been hit. My last fight, I got hit really good with an uppercut. My mouth guard actually flew out. And it dazed me. I was kind of saw stars for a little bit, and when I picked out my mouth guard, I put it back in my mouth, and I kind of stumbled a step or two. And the ref kind of gave me like a second to pick up my mouth guard, and that's all it took was that 1 second for me to get my wits back. But I mean, it feels like just stand in a room and do like 30 spins and then stop. That's kind of how it feels. Okay.
So.
Well, how do you prepare yourself for a fight, for that moment where you're going to be walking into the ring?
Up until my last fight, I would just like take it and just go try to deal with it. But up until my last fight, my strength conditioning coach has been working with me, doing a lot of sports psychology things, like writing down on a piece of paper, all the way up to the fight, saying, oh, what did I do good in practice? I did this. What did I do bad? I did this. And what am I going to do to prepare myself?
So it's a real logical
logical stuff, and just kind of a lot of mental preparation. Like think about, close my eyes and just think about, all right, there's going to be 50,000 people out there. Get the noise in there and everything, and try to visualize, a lot of visualization.
And you have a fight coming up in November 12th on Fox, and everybody can watch. Pablo, good luck on that. We'll be rooting for you.
Thank you.
All right.